Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with another episode of Hildreth Investigates. And as much as I want to move on to somebody else, something else pops up about Ann Taylor, and I gotta talk about it. I have to talk about it because this made my eyes pop when I saw this. I could not believe it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Ann Taylor, Bryan Kohberger's attorney, is being paid $8,000 a week to defend him. This is, according to Newsweek, actually back from 2013, but this is wild. Of course, something like this would go on the radar. But Jennifer Coffindaffer, as Harsh would say, Coffin Dodger, uh, he actually mentioned how that's kind of what that's actually pretty wild. There it is. Restating for clarity, Bryan Kohberger's public defense salary is 119 to 170,000 a year. For Kohberger's case, he'll receive $200 an hour, 40 hours a week, or $384,000 a year paid for by Latah County. Now, the average public defender in Idaho is $54,000 a year, usually between 49 and 61. What in the world? I get the 190 to 170,000, but over almost four. Well, it after the overtime, because they're putting more than 40 hours a week in on this. After that, you're looking easily over $400,000 a year, almost quadruple of what she's making. Definitely double, almost triple. That's insane. That is utterly insane. And again, it makes you sit back and start kind of thinking through it. Like, was this all a part of the plan? Ann Taylor making out like a bandit, uh, breaking in the dough at $200 an hour. You have Bill Thompson getting famous. Have the judge. You have judge, prosecutor, and law enforcement all getting pay bumps, which is absolutely insane. And I think Nunez, it was reported, one of the officers that responded onto the scene, he's making $88,000 a year as a second-year police officer. That's wild. And hey, and if I'm being honest, like, the good officers, obviously Nunez not being one of them, the good officers absolutely deserve that. They deserve six figures, no question. But my God, this is insane. You have the judge getting a pay bump, have law enforcement, have the prosecutor getting a slight pay bump, but this is easily triple the pay. Let's just clarify for everybody on how insane this is. How much does a aver average public defense make death? Public defender, and it's specifically a death penalty case. Public defenders salaried average $70,000 to $104,000 a year, no extra per case for death penalty work, which costs offices 130 to 230,000 each, 1,000 plus hours, court appointed counsel, up to $226 federally with caps. So typically there isn't a pay bump for the public defenders. So yeah, we're looking at over 4 times the average cost. Why is Ann Taylor getting 4 times the pay bump? You want to tell me corruption doesn't exist here? You're going to tell me that this was a legitimate, like, defense attempt? Come on now. Nobody can be that naive. Nobody can be that foolish. Nobody. By the way that this all looks, everybody got a nice hefty payday. The victims' families are trying to get their nice little hefty payday at the expense of Bryan Kohberger, who I am very, very confident in the fact that he had no idea that Haley Goncalves, Anna Kernodle, Addison Mogan, Chapin didn't even know that those 4 existed before the news dropped about them. I'm very, very confident in that. He will be spending the rest of his life in prison unless they come out with some sort of an appeal. Which, again, like I mentioned in the last couple videos, what does Bryan know about his own case? Has he been fed all the proper information? Or is Ann Taylor filtering that information to him and intentionally leaving out the exculpatory evidence? And I've mentioned this over and over and over again. If you are told each and every single day for years on end, looking at from December of 23 or 22 all the way through July of 2025, you are being told every single day you are a monster, murdered those innocent kids, you are an evil, sick SOB. You're told that every single day. Eventually, as sick and as heinous as it is, you end up believing it. So, again, and I'll ask for the 3rd video in a row, what does Bryan know about his own case? What does he know? Does he know about all the exculpatory evidence? Because either way, now it's either he was coerced into it by Ann Taylor or he was threatened into it by Bill Thompson. Which one is it? Put in the comments. I'm genuinely curious on what you come to. Wasn't one of those he throws his hands up. Oh well, we gave it our best shot. Let me know in the comments. What do you? Which one do you think of those two happened? Because I refuse to believe that either Ann Taylor or Bryan Kohberger got tired and said, you know what? It's been a good fight. It's been a long fight, but I'm tired. Let's let's just spend the rest of my life in prison. That's not how that works. I get the judge is against you. I get that the public is against you. And who knows? Bryan Bri- Bryan's own defense may be against him. But the only way that you are going to really be able really show how corrupt the system is get it into trial, get it into a trial, get it on camera. And I get there's hearings that are televised and blah 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 blah. Nobody gives a rip about that. Nobody does. You got the hardcore true crimers out there that will sit there and watch every single motion hearing. Every single time someone's in a courtroom, they are on it. And good for them. I applaud them for it. They are very important in this process. I am not one of those people. I'm just not. But the larger public is going to be more interested in the actual trial. And when you are able to expose the corruption in the actual trial itself, that is how you win the PR war while also winning your trial, winning over the jury. That is how you get a double-edged sword win. You go up there, public court, open court, cameras rolling, and you blow holes through this prosecution like it's nothing. Because by God, a brain-dead monkey could pull this off. And yet Ann Taylor, who is making $400,000 a year off this, couldn't quite pull it off because the judge was really, really mean. Win it on appeal. At least keep yourself open for an appeal. Oh, but he's afraid of the death penalty. The average death penalty, it takes from sentence to execution, I think it was like 17 to 25 years. Something like that. So, yeah, that's not an issue. This was absolutely malpractice that this went to a plea deal on Ann Taylor's part. If there was intimidation, somebody should have spoke up. If there was a threat, somebody should have spoke up. But, I mean, this is just absolutely wild. So, that is what I got for you here. Know in the comments, who is the one responsible? Is it Bill Thompson threatening? Ann Taylor manipulating? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? I'm Dylan Hodert. This is Hodert Investigates. We'll see you in the next one.